Right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation. Monday night Knicks. CP from Knicks Fan TV. My man Jay Ellis from Nick of Time Show. Special guest on the quarantine stream, Jay Ellis. He was the number one pick of the 2000 NBA draft.
Right.
15-year veteran. All-star. 2 NBA Finals appearances. And most importantly, a member of the New York Knicks jails, 2012-14, right. Knicks tape in the building, Kenyon Martin.
Yeah.
In here. K-Mart, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, gentlemen. Thanks for having me on, man.
Absolutely, man. Definitely appreciate you coming on the show. Happy problem. Father's Day, happy Juneteenth. I hope you enjoyed that as well with your family as well.
Appreciate it, man. Surely did.
Especially with everything going on, man. You know, it's we have coronavirus impacting us in our community. You have all the civil unrest going on with the police killings and all the protests. How has all those events of the past few months really impacted you and your family?
Let's start with the COVID thing. Just being stuck in the house for the last few months. Just gave it time to reflect on what's important first and foremost. I have no problem staying in the house. People that know me know I'm a homebody. So this was good for me. You know, everybody was living like me. You know what I'm saying? But I have no problem being in the house, being around my wife, the kids, etc. Staying out of harm's way, what I call it. But then I'm saying with everything else, from the George Floyd to Ahmaud Arbery, and the list goes on, man. It's just unfortunate that we're still dealing with this in 2020. But it's the way 2020 started, it's just fitting that we would have to go through something of this magnitude right now. You know, very unfortunate, but things have to happen in order for change to happen. Unfortunately, someone else had to lose their life for people to really start paying attention, and especially the other side. Very unfortunate, but the time is now for people to start taking heed to it and paying attention and putting things into action, not just using words.
True story, man. You have your son. He's coming up in the league. Just entered into the draft. Is that a conversation that you ever had with him? You know, in terms of just how to move with the police or with law enforcement, just to be safe.
Yeah, just in general, man. Just always be smart. Always use your head. Always know who's in what type of authority is around. But just always preparing them. I have 3 boys. I have KJ, of course, he's 19. I got a 15-year-old and I got a 2-year-old. So I've been having to preach it. Even I'm saying KJ now, I got my 15-year-old. So just trying to always put that in their mind. I'm saying we're always a target, we're always a threat. And so therefore we have to be that much more better. The way you live your life, using your manners, being respectful. You know, I always tell people my job is to make sure that my children become productive members of society. You know, so that's having honest conversations with them before this even started. You know, it just didn't start now. Yeah. The killings and police brutality and all of that. It just didn't start now. Racism and bigotry and you name it. It just didn't start. So it's been going on. I'm 42. It's been going on my entire life. You know, so but just letting them understand and giving them situations that I've been in and letting them know how to carry themselves and things like that. And be better than I was, don't handle the situation how I would have handled it, and things like that. You know, so just letting them know what's important and what's not. And my number one goal as every night is to make it home to my family. And I preach that to them as well. You know, so that comes with being smart, knowing your situation, knowing the environment, knowing the situation. And always making it home at night is so that's the ultimate goal.
Well said. Well said, man. Now, in the midst of COVID, you know, you have the NBA planning to restart at the end of July. COVID cases have been known to be going up in and around Orlando. What do you think about the restart? You think they should play?
I definitely think they should play. With everything going on, with the injustice of George Floyd and all that, I think it could be another voice. You know, I don't know how the format is going to go as far as TV and radio and all that, but I think that the message can still be out there with them playing. You know, I don't think they should miss the opportunity. It would be better if it was normal activity going on, but as far as being able to have TV and press and all that stuff. It'd be better if it was normal games in arenas and all that. But being able to have LeBron James down there and other guys who voice means something now. You know, for them to have the opportunity, whether it's to wear a T-shirt, whether it's to put it on the floor, whatever the case may be, I think it's a good time.
Yeah.
You know, to get back to something that people can pay attention to, and just imagine if this was going on and then the NFL draft would have did something similar. You know what I'm saying? This was before, but just to imagine how many people tuned in to the NFL draft this year. You know, historic numbers because of what's going on. You know, so I think that they can't miss the opportunity to continue the message, you know, continue to fight, continue to get the knowledge out there, having PSAs and different things like that with the people who've been affected. You know, the family members of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery's and, you know, have Stephen Jackson and people who really, really affected on the front lines with it, as well as the current guys that's playing and some of the guys teams who weren't invited, like the Steph Currys and of the world, you know, so they had a voice, you know, so using that.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, Lou Williams had come out and he thought it could be a distraction, but I think I agree with you. You know, I think it could be an opportunity to use the platform, you know, while you have the TV spotlight, while you have the exposure, continue to raise awareness. And I think long term, because I think this whole thing for social change, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So I don't think that by sitting out, you know,
it's been going on since the 1800s.
It's been going on for a long time, right? So, you know, I don't think them sitting out and not playing is gonna expedite things, you know, to get you to change. It's still a long term process. And so
I get what certain guys' points, you know what I'm saying, about not playing. I understand it. But it's a lot that goes into it. You know, it's guys' livelihoods, guys. I'm saying they need that. That's a guy. I'm saying just take.
It's a lot of money on the line, man.
Probably, like it ain't like the late '80s, mid '90s when guys weren't making that much. Guys making upwards of 20, 30 million a year. You know, so you want guys to forfeit that when they can still use their platform in the right way. So I don't think not playing is the issue.
What you think about everybody trying to drag Kyrie, you know, through the mud, you know, all this, you know?
Just, sometimes open mouth, insert foot, man. You know, sometimes it's better to not say anything. But we know Kyrie, he has a valuable opinion who people pay attention to. So it's part of it. When you open your mouth and you have things to say, comes criticism. True, you know, good and bad. And bad. If you would have had something to say on the other side, somebody would have had something to say. True. You know, but he opened the door for criticism. He opened the door for people to have things to say. So it is what it is with me, man. I don't feel no way about him making a statement. That's his opinion. He's a grown man. He's allowed to say what he wants to. He's grown. You know, so just knowing that somebody gonna have something to say. Somebody's not going to agree with you. And in today's climate, somebody just pushed sin, and now it's out to millions of people. You know, so that's what it is, man.
True story, man. JLs, before we get into basketball, salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Tonight's hashtag J Ellis will be K-Mart. Throw a hashtag K-Mart in the chat to salute Kenyon Martin. All right, JLs, kick us off.
All right, man. So Kenyon, when you got to this team, you was already kind of stacked. We had Melo here, we had Felton, we had Jason Kidd. So what did you feel like you brought to the team, and why do you feel like you fit so well with the team? Because you fit really seamlessly with everybody.
Yeah, I like the makeup of the squad first and foremost before I got there. I looked at the bigs we had, as far as Amari, Rasheed, Kurt, those guys. I just thought and Tyson as well. I thought I bought some of the same similar attributes as Tyson. You know, defensive minded, but total team guy, man. Like I don't need the ball and need shots to affect the game. I never have.
Right.
You know, so when you have that mentality, you're able to come in and you get it where you get it. And get in where you finish. Some days you might score 15, 20. Some days you might score 8. So you got to know that, you know, but my impact on the game had nothing to do with scoring. So I was able to come in and fit in right away with them guys. Like some guys, if you bring a guy in and he needs to average 17, then there's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
because he needs the ball. And then he wouldn't. I didn't come in early. I came in a little late. They already had certain things established. But for me to come in and then certain guys to go down and me to come in and start a few games and fill some gaps and all that, I know how to play the game of basketball. And my IQ with the situation and knowing the game allowed me to fit in, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I really like the makeup of the team, especially the big men. A lot of the big men on that squad, they had the similar attributes, like you just said, offense, defense, and all of them kind of just knew their role and knew where to fit in.
Quality vets, man. We had quality vets that year.
And you had
and I think and I hadn't missed a step in that regard. You know, I could still move my feet, still run up and down with the best of them, still could jump with the best of them, and those guys who I was on the team with respected my game, respected what I was bringing to the table. Then I had a head coach that allowed me to be me.
Absolutely. Yeah, speaking of head coach too, because we all see that Mike Woodson, he is a candidate to be a Knicks coach. How do you feel he did with that squad? And like, what do you think he brought to the table to have everybody just mesh so seamlessly?
He was able to. I like Woody personally. You know, that was my first time being around him. I seen him on the bench like other places and all that, but that was my first time being around him and able to talk basketball with him. And he allowed us to be men first and foremost. He held us accountable. He didn't, from Melo to down, from Melo to Chris Copeland, everybody was held accountable, which I love. You know, not every coach can do that. Not every coach can demand their respect. I mean, Woody did that.
Yeah, absolutely. I heard Felton said the same thing when we interviewed him. He spoke very highly of Woody. And the way he got it, J.R. Smith, too, he got him to 6 man a year. You figured he could be
honest conversations, man. Sitting JR, tell him down, this is what you can be if you went about it this way.
Absolutely.
You know, and it wasn't his fault we lost Indiana, man. It was all on us. Game plan was there. Everything was in place. We just didn't get it done. We just didn't get it done as a unit. You know, I was right in it. I played a lot of minutes. I played good minutes. We just didn't get it done. You know, not the fault Mike Woodson had us prepared. He knew how to go about it. And nothing but the highest respect for Woody. And I hope he gets another opportunity. I hope he's a real candidate for this job, man, because he deserves it. Because the exit wasn't the best.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't his fault. It definitely wasn't.
It was treated very poorly, in my opinion. Because it wasn't his fault. We had a lot of injuries that year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of injuries. Guys in and out and don't get the opportunity to at least get another year deal and see how it go from there.
Yeah, that was weird of Phil to kind of just not even give him the shot. But, you know, Phil had his own plan from the jump.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
A failed plan.
It wasn't – listen, it just wasn't Woody. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of us. You know, look at our age, look at what we had did, and made his mind up already.
Yeah.
You know, and Woody deserved another shot, and I think he deserves another shot now. You know, so I really hope he's in real consideration, and they're not just using this as the Rooney rule. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. 10 candidates in the pot right now.
Yeah, man. Everybody is
in the pot right now, man. So we'll see, man. But I was a big Woodson fan when he was here as well.
He's my guy, man. Was able to get to know him off the floor as well, man. So he's a solid dude, man. He honestly, and to just think the way we played, man, we got threes up. I'm saying we wasn't just a half court, throw the ball to Melo and get out of the way.
That's true.
No, we had guys that was stroking that thing.
Yeah.
True story. Novak, Copeland, JR.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? JR, Melo, then
J Kid, first half J Kid
knocked down. So Pablo Prigioni probably percentage was better than everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cope was letting him go too.
Cope was letting him fly.
So Woody's style of play with the new style of the way they playing now, I think it fits.
Yeah.
I think he can bring that defensive focus to the game, which it needs to be, and as well letting these guys wide open, let them do what they need to do, and they're shooting 30-plus threes a night.
What was it a strange feeling? You know, you started your career in Jersey, across the water, being in with the Knicks. Was that a strange feeling when you threw that Knicks jersey on? How did that feel?
It was a little weird, but it was 7 years removed.
Yeah.
You know, and the team wasn't there no more. You know what I'm saying? So they packed the U-Haul up and went across the river as well. You know, but no, it definitely was a strange feeling at first, man. knowing where it all started at, and that all came full circle. Now I'm back on the other side, and one of their last playoff memories was us sweeping them in the garden when I was with the Nets.
Man.
So,
Oh man,
no, I'm saying so. Just
getting worked.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So just imagine like me coming back there and then putting on the Knicks uniform. Like it was a little different, but I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed that time, saying being able to be a Knick, man. I really enjoyed it.
I can't lie to you, man. When y'all swept the Knicks and worked them in that fashion, man, because Steph was my guy. I was a big Steph fan. When we finally got to the playoffs, and man, y'all went off on the Knicks, man. I was tight, man.
I was tight too.
Yeah, it was personal, because we had been winning for the first few years, man, and we couldn't get nobody in the seats. The Knicks hadn't really been there, and they just historically sell out.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then when we would play them in the Meadowlands, and all the Knicks fans would come over and all that, like that.
It'd be a road game for you.
Yeah, in the backyard.
That bothered me, bothered us. So when we had the opportunity to put foot to ass, I was ready. Like I looked at my numbers from that series.
Yeah,
we was ready as a team, but I was personally ready for that challenge.
Man. Trust me, can tell.
And I remember game 4 vividly, man. They was cheering for they was in the garden cheering for us. I don't know if nobody remember that, but they was in a New Jersey, man. So for them to be chanting us in there like that.
You felt like that was the get back.
Yeah,
I'm denying that happened.
Definitely the get back.
That's why Tim Thomas was so tight, J. Ellis. Tim Thomas, that's why he was so tight with the Fugazi nonsense, man.
Yeah, man.
Clown.
He's
a clown. We're not gonna talk about clowns on this interview. What we ain't gonna do.
So salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. We got Kenyon Martin in the building. Throw a hashtag K-Mart in the chat to salute Kenyon. K-Mart, in previous interviews, you had mentioned that, the current issues with the Knicks right now is really on James Dolan's shoulders right now, partly because of just the inability to hire competent leaders at the top and let them run the franchise. They have Leon Rose right now, former agent. What's your familiarity with Leon, and what do you think about his potential to build this team?
I don't know Leon personally. So I don't have. I'll let him do his job and see how he does. They're taking a page out of the Lakers book, I'm assuming. Hiring former agent.
Pelinka.
Rob Pelinka. So following those footsteps. If I'm not mistaken, Leon Rose had Melo early. If I'm not mistaken, a few other people. So I guess they're looking at that aspect and figuring that it can work. But my critique and criticism of James Dolan, I think, was pretty accurate. It wasn't personal. I was doing the job. Somebody asked me a question, and I've spoken to Dolan since about those statements. Yeah, about those statements, of course. And I explained to him it wasn't personal. But ultimately, there's a pecking order in every sports organization, every business, every you name it. It starts up top. Most business decisions come across who's in charge desk.
Facts.
Did you feel
and then you have the ultimate say so.
Yeah.
So therefore, from the Phil Jackson hiring on down, I think was bad moves.
Me too.
That just and I wasn't the only person that thought that.
Right.
But in his circle and amongst his peers, they only look at the fact that Phil Jackson won championships as a coach and he bring along his people and all that. Like, no. Like, what makes you good at something don't make you good at the other.
Yeah.
It is.
So he was a hell of a basketball coach. He can get guys to buy into what he was preaching and coached two of arguably the greatest players of all time and got them to buy into what he was preaching, and it worked. But that don't mean he can pick talent.
Right.
I agree.
It don't mean he can pick a head coach, somebody who you think might think like you. To get guys, it's a different time era. It's different. But I think they're going about it the right way now, making different decisions, thinking outside the box, following other people's footsteps and not keep doing it your way because your way has not been working. So I just think that's a smart move, learning from what other teams have done and trying to implement those things within your own organization.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. Phil steered us in the wrong direction for a while.
Yeah,
Fisher
from
hire
day one.
I just
From
don't
day
feel,
one.
and he didn't have the energy for the job, man. Let's be
didn't.
honest. Like, it's a different type of energy you gotta have to be able to put the team together and build a staff and all of that. Phil just came for the bag and was like, I'm here.
Gave
I'm
him
smart.
68.
Nailed it in.
Man.
He mailed it in.
68. Gave him 68, and then he turned around and gave Joakim Noah 70.
Oh man. And Noah turned around and said New York was too lit for him. Kenyon,
oh yeah, it's too lit. Yeah, it's too lit for him, man.
K-Mart, how you gonna be from here and talk about it was too lit for you, man?
Hey, yo, can you play? Joakim is joining the Clippers, right? Can you play him for a spot?
Yo, man. Give me a few weeks to get in shape. A couple months. Nah, like I take nothing what he did in Chicago. They put him in a situation to be successful. Like they put him like I'm with coaches coaching your team and coaching guys' ability.
Right.
He had a good coach that let him make decisions at the elbow. They did a lot of dribble handoff stuff. He rebounded the ball. He blocked a couple shots. Okay, that's fine. He ain't never been the best at pretty much nothing, but he play hard. He play hard. I give him nothing. Listen, I don't know Joakim Noah personally.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I only know what I saw when I played against him and what I saw watching games and after I was gone. So people can say what they want to about me. I can take it on the chin. If it's accurate. Yeah. If it's accurate.
Listen, Joakim did it to himself, man. I'm sorry. He did it to himself, man.
I've never been, I put him and Dwight Howard in the same category. It's just me. That's me. But
okay,
they were successful at the team that they were on. You take them out those environments and those situations, then what are they?
Yeah, couldn't translate. When he talked about not being able to handle New York, I look at your situation. You were the number one pick. Yes, you were playing for New Jersey Nets, but you were still in the area. I'm sure you were hitting the city and everything. How do you feel like you were able
22.
to 22 years old. How do you feel like you were able to navigate and kind of maintain and keep a low profile?
Because I realized what was important. I went out, I did my thing, I had fun, I enjoyed New York. I was fresh out there. I was 22, 23 years. I turned 23 my rookie year, so I didn't have no restrictions. I could get it anywhere. And me being from the other side, people knew I was. But nah, you got to adjust your environment, man, like your surroundings. I don't understand he's from there, but what part is he from? How was his dealings and moving around when he was there? All that plays a factor, but I don't understand if you're not comfortable somewhere. You got to do a job. You got to play basketball, man. So it had to be more to it than that, I believe. That's just my thought process. If I'm there, I've moved around, went different places, and I knew what was important. I knew why I was there. And I make the best of everything else. But I'm there to do my job. So whatever comes with that, and I'm going to stick it out.
Absolutely. And
he's mentally weak. Like, people like that mentally weak to me.
Yeah, he didn't. You know what? He had us fooled, though, because I thought when he was coming here, I thought he was going to bring that part of his game with him. I thought he was going to be mentally tough.
I just think people like that succumb to the environment, to pressures of their teammates, to all that kind of stuff. I just think you're mentally weak. You check it in and you rather bail than deal with it.
Absolutely.
That's just who I am. That's just how I grew up, man. My life wasn't that easy as a kid and so forth, but just can't check it in when it get tough.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Or you don't like a situation, or you're uncomfortable, or you don't like a situation, you just gonna. And he's not listening. He's not the only one.
Yeah.
Across the landslide, he's not the only one, man. Across the landscape of sports, first and foremost, but the NBA as that, he's not the only one to
Yeah.
Not like
soft.
his situation, and not like his situation, and you're not mentally tough enough to fight through it.
Yeah, he just did it in the biggest stage imaginable.
True story.
That's
And
all.
everybody got an opinion.
True story.
True story. Yeah. So Jason Kidd, he's made a lot of players better. I'm sure he's made you better as well. He put a lot of people in great places. So I mean, tell me, how did Jason make you play better, and what do you think the potential of Jason Kidd coaching the New York Knicks would be?
How did Jay Kidd make me better? He allowed me just to be me. You know, for me to be young, athletic, and no holds barred. He allowed me to be that, because he was the same way, just a quieter version, I think. You know, I think we had the same mentality when it comes to the game, when it comes to winning, when it comes to compete. I think we had the same mentality. We never talked about it, which is crazy. We just went out and just hoop.
So it's more of a silent leader, not more of a vocal.
Yeah. But he had to say something, he did. But for the most part, it was just, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna play hard at all times. You know, you play hard, I'll reward you. You run, I'll reward you. But we're gonna play hard, and that's what I had from the door. You know, so when he got there, it molded itself.
Yeah.
You know,
It just fits seamlessly. And do you feel like he'll be able to bring that to the Knicks as a coach? How do you feel like the prospect of being a coach here?
Yeah, I think every stop, from early days in Brooklyn to going to Milwaukee, I think he's learned in every spot. Do's, don'ts, good, bad, and different. I think he's learned. I think that's why he was willing to take the position that he's in now. You know, because before, the things that I was hearing, that it was head coach or bust.
Yeah.
You know, so now him humbling himself in that regard, and taking some time to really, really get the craft under his belt, because he hit the ground running.
Yeah,
he got done playing, and the next year you're head coach. Like, not that don't happen.
Yeah.
Listen, you think, we're gonna resign Jay Kidd, and then he's with the Nets. You're like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, head coach. We all was like, whoa. So I think him able to take a step back and really, really get the craft under his belt, I think it benefited him. He's always had one of the best minds in the game, being arguably one of the best point guards of all time. So he's always been able to think the game. And then I think him learning along the way what he's done well, done not so well, I think it only benefit him moving forward. So if he's able to coach the Knicks, they got a lot of young talent, guys who know who Jay Kidd is. So I think it benefits.
Yeah, he comes with respect. Some people believe that he can. I don't want to attract free agents, but some people.
I don't want that to be the sole reason, man.
That probably could sway a few guys. Unfortunately, it might be a year or two too late for some guys,
right?
That went to the other side. You know what I'm saying? Like just imagine if Jay Kidd was the head coach, somebody different, Mark Jackson was the head coach, then they probably at least could have got a sit down.
Absolutely.
But they didn't get a sit down. They didn't even get an interview.
They didn't even get an interview.
But
that was supposed to be the appeal of Fizdale. That was supposed to be the appeal of Fizdale, right? Because he had the relationship with KD, and the younger guys in the league respected him. And these guys didn't even come for a cup of coffee, man.
Like, I like Fizz. Fizz made a name for himself being an assistant, but it don't hold the same weight as Jay Kidd, I don't think. It's unfortunate. Like, Fizz is a great coach.
Yeah.
Great lineage. Pat Riley and so forth, you know what I'm saying? Exposure, that whole tree. You know, but when you say basketball and you hear Jay Kidd, your ears perk up.
Hall of Fame, yeah.
Hall of Fame, you know what I'm saying? First ballot. Like, so it's
exactly. That was weight here.
It's just a little different. Him playing on both sides, him playing Nets, and then for a long time, and then Knicks and championship, and being. So I just think when you talk of trying to recruit guys or having guys' interest, I think Jay Kidd name itself would spark guys' interest.
You heard it. You heard it, CP.
Hey,
I didn't.
That was probably another Mills dud, but we'll keep it pushing. That was another dud. On top of that Noah contract. Because K-Mart, you know that wasn't Phil negotiating that Noah contract. That was Mills, man.
That was definitely
That
Mills.
was Mills negotiating that contract, man.
Joakim Noah did the chin-ups on Phil Jackson's shoulder.
He's like, sign him.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. Steve Mills was there for a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of it fell in his lap. People don't like the dynamic of his relationship with Dolan, you know, so it was there for a long time. So they was intertwined.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm glad to move on from Steve Mills, but yeah, definitely glad.
Steve a good man though, man. He just that job is tough, man.
Tough job.
Yeah.
Like Steve a good dude, man, but that's a tough job to be in, a tough position, man.
True.
It
like,
is.
in that city.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a tough spot, dog.
Nothing against him personally. It's just some of the contracts.
It's a rock and hard place.
Questionable.
That's a rock and hard place. No,
Yeah.
it definitely is. No, but it's just some of the guys, the skill set is there. Some of the guys, maybe not so much, but I give him 50-50.
All right, Ron Baker. I see you. $8 million, Steve Mills.
Oh, man.
All right. All right, moving on, Kenyon.
Hey, he got to send it to somebody. Somebody got to okay.
Yeah, see, send it to me. I
True story.
5-7 and all. Anyway,
They the size of the dog, man.
hey, there it is. Right, Nate? All right, Nate? All right. All right, man. So Ken, you've been in the league for a while. I've been all-star a few times. You made your mark in the league. But you went to the finals too, and you had 2 losses to the Lakers and the Spurs. How did you feel like you recovered from those losses?
Start with the Lakers. That was the first one. We didn't have a chance. We thought we did. They were seasoned, and not too many people on this planet could guard Shaq at the time.
Yeah, that's another monster.
Shaq, that was probably Shaq at his peak.
Yeah. So we were behind the 8 ball in that regard, man. They came out. Games were competitive, but they just knew they had that experience of being there already, and then they had Shaq as well. I think we learned going into the next year, going to San Antonio. We thought we had a legitimate shot. We won a game down there. So then we let one get away at home. If we win one of them at home, we were in a great situation. But we never thought that it was going to end that way. Thought we had an opportunity to get back. Never been back. So that was what I learned in them situations is that it's not guaranteed that you're going back.
Yeah.
Seize the moment, which I tried to do for the most part every time I took the floor. Game 6, last game, didn't go my way. I couldn't throw it in the ocean. One of the worst shooting performances that has been in the finals.
It had
23.
But 3 for 23. Wasn't a lack of effort. Listen, wasn't from a lack of effort and trying. Trust me, just one of them days.
One of them nights, man.
Yeah, it's the Spurs, man.
So it happens, man, and just thought that we have opportunity to get back. And think that the next season will be my last year there.
That's crazy, man. We're talking to Kenyon Martin. Everybody in the chat, hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Throw a hashtag K-Mart in the chat to salute Kenyon. You know, Kenyon in your Bleacher Report, Players Tribune write up. You said Kobe was one of the players that you hated playing against. Well, what was it about the Mamba, man, that he was just tough? And then, when he went to Denver, you played him a ton of times as a member of the Nuggets. I mean, talk about those matchups with Kobe.
Just didn't get to play against Mike in his prime. I played against the Wizards, Mike. Still was good. Still was competitive. But I think Kobe is the closest thing to Mike that I played against. So I could only imagine the turmoil that Mike caused guys when he was playing. Good defenders, guys and I looked at myself as a good defender. Made things tough on everybody I played against. But for Kobe, it was different because everything that I would do, he had accounted for. Get physical with him. He uses finesse and just the different things like that. His footwork was second to none. So me trying to impose my will on him, he had to counter for it. So that made him one of the, if not the toughest player that I ever had to play against.
Did you ever see, like, they always say with the greats that they could always take it to another gear, especially late in games. They could always take it to another gear that some players can't reach. Did you ever see that with him?
I never got caught into it because I was playing.
Mm-hmm.
I never was in awe during the game. I never was a fan during the game.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we battled, we were battling. So I never looked at it as that. He might make tough shots.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, but I'm playing good D.
Yeah.
So I never looked at it as him going into a certain mode or a certain place. And he might have made some tough shots, but that's just what I looked at it as. So you can put them together where you stringing bucket after bucket after bucket, but you're not just gonna score on me continuously.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do something about it. Whether if I got to knock you on your ass or I got to come across your head, then I'm gonna do that. You're not just gonna be busting my ass. Listen, the story won't be you bust Kenyon ass. I can tell you that. Like, that won't be the narrative. It might start that. It might start that way, but the second half of that story might be a little different. Might be a little different now, but God rest his soul.
Yeah, man, going too soon, man.
Way entirely too soon, man. It's one of them things that you never think would happen, and you never get over. So my prayers and condolences go out to his loved ones, his family, man, his wife, his kids, his parents. They're more affected than anybody, man. So it's very, very unfortunate that he's no longer with us. You never think that a sports icon of his nature won't live to be old like the rest of them guys, man. So it's very, very unfortunate, man.
True story, man. True story. So now, after your rookie contract is up, you end up leaving the Knicks. Like, how did that even happen? You're the number one pick, face of the franchise, and next thing you know, you in Denver. Like, what happened with that?
So year 3, getting high consideration to be All-Star that year. I don't make it. The All-Star game is in Atlanta. They put Sharif Abdul-Rahim on the team, so they want a representative from the local city. He playing well. Sharif probably having 20-something, which he was a scorer. But I think we were the number one team in the conference. And for us to only have one representative that year was a shame. So the next year I make the All-Star team. This is my 4th year. So that summer, before my 4th year, they offered me a contract. They offered me 6 years for 66. But great money. From where I come from, listen, great money. But where the problem lies, people that was playing my position around the league was getting more. And I was on the verge of being I missed the All-Star team, so I felt I was on the verge of being an All-Star. Then we coming off finals appearance. I'm a major part of that. Make it to the finals again.
Right.
Yeah, so they offered me 6 for 66. So I bet on myself. I turned it down because I was still under my rookie contract, so I didn't have to sign.
Mm-hmm.
We was going into the last year of my rookie deal, which was my 4th year. They took their team option. I declined my 5th year. So I was still under my rookie deal, so there was no need for me to sign it, basically. I could have signed the extension, but there was no need for me to sign it.
Right.
So next year, my 4th year, I made the All-Star team. So now, leverage on my side, which was always on my side, but it's even more on my side now.
Right.
We lose to the Pistons, off season. Still waiting on the phone call to this day.
Damn.
Jeez.
Like, it ain't like they offered something and I turned it down.
Yeah.
Like, they never called.
That's crazy.
Like, they never offered anything after the 66.
That's crazy. Wow.
Like, didn't even call to be like, are you talking to anybody else?
Yeah.
Or
You sure? Nothing.
Wow.
we can give you this 66 again. Like, do you want this? Like, nothing.
Wow.
Like,
I'm
so
sure.
I waited. I waited a few days after free agent. July 1st come
Nothing.
and go. No phone calls. Second, third, fourth. I'm like, yo,
Wow.
I'm over here.
I'm available. Let's talk to me.
So I hit J Kidd. I called him. I hit J Kidd. Like, man, they ain't offering me that, man. Like, I ain't heard from nobody. And his exact words, like, okay, I love playing with you, man, but go get your money. So that led to me going to Atlanta and me getting ready to go to Utah and me visiting Denver. Those were the only really teams that had money to spend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So went to Atlanta. They offered a certain amount. I was contemplating it. I was on my way to Utah to go visit the Jazz, and they told me I didn't have to come because they signed Carlos Boozer.
Yeah, that's when Boozer got the bag too.
Oh, yeah, Boozer had the
So
bag.
so they gave him like the 60 or 66, whatever that number was. And then I went to Denver, sat down with them, and then they offered me a contract, and it was more than anybody else had offered, which I felt I had earned it up to that point. So the rest is history, man. Like,
business is business, man.
Yeah, like I never planned on leaving. Me being the number one pick, us winning. Great 1-2 punch or 1-2-3 punch, however you want to put it, with me, J Kidd, and RJ.
Mm-hmm.
Kerry coming back, being healthy. I don't think I'm leaving. Like I'm there. Like so we winning, things going well. Other guys been in place for long. I think the only person that really left under winning circumstances was Shaq.
Yeah.
That's the only person that I could think of that left when they were winning, or had potential to be something.
Mm-hmm.
You had a good sidekick in Penny. You had a good surrounding cast. So I'm looking at it in that manner. Like I'm gonna be here.
Yeah, that's the era they stayed there. They stayed where they were drafted.
Yeah. And then that decision, like Bruce Ratner, like it was his decision. Like Bruce was majority owner of the team.
Mm-hmm.
We had the whole group. Jay-Z was in the group, and all the people was in the group. But Bruce Ratner had 51%. So ultimately, it was his decision not to sign me.
Damn.
Yeah. So I don't meet, and I never met the man before that, and years go by. I mean, years go by. Maybe 10 years or so go by before I finally meet him. Like we had an event out here in LA. Michael Strahan had a bowling event down Lucky Strike, LA Live. I go, mutual friends. Somebody, like I got somebody I want you to meet. Kenyon Martin, Bruce Ratner, Kenyon Martin.
The owner of the team. Never even met him before.
Oh, on it. So the first words out of his mouth is, hope there's no hard feelings.
Oh, wow.
Fuck you mean there's no hard feelings?
Wow.
Definitely fucking hard feelings.
Yeah. And they know they did you greasy, man.
No, but just like, I'm going to put it this way. Had I stayed I made the All-Star team 1 year, right? Had I stayed where I am, that one is 6, 7, 8, 9, like.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Me, J.O., Elton Brand, maybe he went to the other side from the Bulls. But just think about 4s and 5s that was around at the time.
In the East.
In the East.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's heavy.
I'm multiple year All-Star with my point guard and me keep getting better. Like I'm multiple year All-Star.
Yeah, that's true.
But this one decision, I go to the West, where it's stacked
up. It's stacked up, man.
Yeah.
Chris Webber, KG, Tim Duncan, Melo, you name just whoever was there at the time. You name it. At those positions was stacked.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm not getting in by getting voted. And guys gonna put up more numbers than I am. So now I'm stuck. I'm ass out with All-Star. You know what I'm saying? So now it was with that. It was endorsement. It was a lot of shit that decision affected. So
man,
yeah, I hold a grudge against Bruce Ratner. Definitely do.
It's tough.
Like to this day. To this day, like he cost me money, cost me All-Star appearances, cost me a lot.
Man, I didn't even think about that.
Tough side of the business, man.
Yeah,
tough
definitely
side
tough side of the business.
For sure.
But you never think it's gonna come to that.
Yeah.
Because you're winning. You're winning, you're in a good spot. But then they have ways of reminding you. I was just employee number 6, dog.
Damn. That's crazy, man. We
What
talking
it
to
is.
we talking
Always
to
a-
Kenyon Martin. Salute to everybody in the chat.
Yeah,
Hit
man.
that thumbs up button for your boys. You know, Kenyon, you mentioned all the beasts in the West at the 4 and 5. Who would you say were your 3 toughest matchups?
I would say Tim Duncan for one.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing in my side throughout. The Spurs were throwing in my side throughout my career. Played them more times in the playoffs, I think, than anybody, and didn't get a win. For my time in Jersey, finals, going to Denver, playing them in the playoffs, going to the Clippers, playing them in the playoffs and losing. So I would say Tim Duncan for sure. Are we just going bigs?
Yeah, like the players that you matched up with.
I match up against everybody. So I
Well,
had to
yeah,
guard
that's true.
everybody
That's true.
every night.
You were versatile.
So I switched every pick and roll. So, but my matchup to start the game, who I was starting out on, I would say Tim, probably Dirk, and Kobe.
Dirk, that Dirk fadeaway, man.
I used to get like you ask them dudes, man. Like I used to get in fits defensively because I thought I looked at myself as a solid defender where I made things difficult on you. I made you go into your bag. You know, you just wasn't gonna beat me with your primary move. You know, but you know, those guys, they didn't score all the points they scored for a reason.
True story.
And getting the accolades that they're getting for a reason. But if you ask them dudes, I think I held my own. But them was probably 3 of the toughest.
Yeah, that's what you did, man. You always brought the defense for sure.
For sure.
When you on the Nuggets, man, I feel like a lot of the Nuggets, they seem like they were like on the brink a few times, and they always
Nuggets
like
had a squad, bro.
Yeah,
Nuggets had a squad.
There was always a point guard away. It seemed like, and then AI gets there, and we're like, oh, this is it. This is it. What? In your opinion, what happened when AI get there? Why didn't that work out?
I just think it does a couple things. I just think the dynamic of Melo and AI together was too much. I don't think you can have 2 guys averaging 27, and that Kyrie and Bron did it for the most part in the playoffs, but throughout the regular season, you know, that's pretty much like Kyrie probably averaging 22, 21, whatever the number was. But I just think those guys they both needed the ball in order for us to be successful. Taking nothing away from their skill set. 2 prolific scorers throughout their career.
Absolutely.
But I just think when it ultimately comes down to it, there's only one ball.
Yeah, I agree.
That dynamic of it and having a bullshit coach.
Speaking of which, did George Cole ever apologize to you for he took jabs at you and Melo?
I don't listen. I don't want his apology. Let's start there.
He took those jabs at you and Melo in his book.
I call it what it is, man. Like, no, if we had a different coach, we would have been better. What it is. Like we had all the talent in the world year in, year out. We won 50-something games every year. I'm saying every year we won 50 games. Close to it, if not.
What were the faults with George Cole?
Just everything, man. Him as a person, him as game planning. Like George Cole's one side of the ball. That's just scoring fast, shooting threes and layups and shit. Like that's not gonna get it done.
Right.
Like we lost to the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals when Chauncey got there because we didn't have out of bounds plays. We never worked on it. We never worked on time score situation. Like, that's part of everyday training camp, part of everyday practice. Like we never worked on it.
Wow.
But with the AI thing, like AI, my man, 100 grand. I just think it was too much. Too much of similarities.
Right.
Yeah, understood.
Not enough balance.
And then I think not enough balance. And I think because both of those guys need, in order to feel like they had an effect on the game, like they need the massage, they need to score, they need to have it. So I think when Chauncey got there, Chauncey wasn't the need to score guard that AI is in order to be effective. So Chauncey thing was I make big shots when they come my way. I get everybody involved. I know the game, and I'm not going to let George dictate. So when Chauncey got there, he balanced everything out as far as the first 3 quarters. Melo got his throughout the first 3 quarters, but everybody else was involved with Chauncey.
Chauncey got them together.
And then the fourth quarter come, here you go, 15, take us home.
It's true, and you saw it, man. Y'all came close against the Lakers, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's just the difference of AI, great player throughout his career. Great. Pound for pound, in my opinion, the best to do it. Chauncey throughout his career started off rocky, but for the most part, Chauncey had a great career.
Yeah.
It was just in a different way than what AI career was. I just think Chauncey helped balance out what we needed, and it's unfortunate. It goes back to management and decisions. That when they traded Melo, they traded Chauncey with him, which very unfortunate.
That's tough, man. We're speaking of Kenyon Martin. Down in a glass of Malbec. I need some of that wine, man. I need some of that vino after this, man.
Anytime, gentlemen, anytime.
Yeah, of course,
Sit down and get a sip, man.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Throw a hashtag K-Mart in the chat to salute Kenyon Martin. Couple more questions for you, Kenyon. Kenyon Martin Jr., your son, entered into the NBA draft. As I said earlier, you were the number 1 pick in the 2000 draft. What's with the impacts of COVID, what's been, the pre-draft process for him? How has that been impacting, his evaluations and his status in the draft?
Yeah, it's a little different, very unconventional right now with the whole not being able to go to teams and work out and display his skill set as a whole. Some teams, a lot of teams know of him, know his skill set. Some teams haven't seen him play, so that's kind of a little frustrating to a certain degree. But being able to get in the gym a little longer, I think it only benefited. He's been working, he's been putting the time in. Being able to have that extra time, I think, is helping. So when the time comes, if there's going to be workouts and whatever, he'll be prepared. He was prepared before, but I think this extra time and being able to just hone in on your craft even more is only going to benefit him. Been talking, he's had some interviews with some teams, a few interviews with some teams. So the sky's the limit for him. I'm proud of him. I'm a proud dad first and foremost, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm looking forward. I've been a part of the journey. I'm looking forward to the rest of his journey. And he's been working his ass off to get to this point, man. So it's gonna happen.
That's what's up, man. And based on what you learned, your early trials and tribulations, what's your advice to him kind of coming into this process?
No, just enjoy it, man. Just continue to work. Always work on your craft. Keep your head down. Stay humble. Stay grounded. Don't listen to the hype. Just go out and continue to work your ass off like you have up to this point. If I know anything, I know what hard work is. I know what it takes to get there. But he's at 19, he's better than I was. So that's not because I'm his dad. No. At 19, he's a better basketball player than I was at 19. No question about it.
That's what's up.
But he took a different route than most kids. He didn't go to school, he chose to go a different route, but his skill set is there. Skill set is that of today's NBA, 6'7" and a half, 215, 220, prototypical NBA body. Has all intangible stuff that don't show up on the stat sheet. He's competitive. His IQ is high. Will to win. He hate losing. And he got my DNA. So
absolutely. So Kenyon, how do you want to be remembered in the NBA?
It's a great question. How do I want to be remembered? I've been asked this before and thought about it, and the one thing that I get constantly that I respect the most is how I played the game.
Mm.
You know, it's not about numbers, it's not about championships, it's not about all-star appearances. It's about people that watch the game, watch me play for 15 years,
Right.
and that's what they took from it.
Respect for the
You
game.
know,
Yeah.
I appreciate the way you played the game. That's enough for me because how I approached each and every game. You know, like I went out, I played hard every time I was able to take the floor. You know, every time the good Lord blessed me the will or the ability to go out and play, I tried to play it to the best of my hard as I could possibly play every time. And for people walking down the street, whether it's around New York, whether it's in Dallas or Louisiana, you name it, like people come up and that's the number one constant. And when they with their kids or they with people who have never seen, like, yeah, we should have seen him play.
Yeah.
Like that's enough for me. They're not gonna say he made this many All-Stars. You're not this, you're not that. You should have seen him play. Or people tell their kids that play now, listen, you to play like him. Like that's enough for me. Like for me to be remembered in that light that's great. You know what I'm saying? From this day here, from that day to the way people look at me now, that's what it's been. You know?
Absolutely. And we definitely appreciate the way you played the game. The young guys coming up too, I hope they take over your
They don't make them like Kenyon Noah, man. He one of the last of the real ones, though.
Yeah, and that is. But so therefore, with that being said, like my son really, like a lot of my attributes and things that I brought to the game, like he has, because he grew up in the house and he grew up watching me play. But it wasn't a given. Him going out and he does it on the floor. Certain things, certain blocks, certain way he get off the floor, certain dunks, certain things he says during the course of the game, and his mannerisms during the course of the game. Like people look at me and I'm like, hey.
Does he do the Kenyon scream?
He don't scream, but his facial expressions, and when he get a good block, sometimes he might.
He might let you know
his
about
facial expressions and everything, and the way he flex on people and stuff like that. Nah, it's definitely a good sight for me. You know what I'm saying? that he was watching. Dad, I'm a proud papa, man. Like for him to go up and him to grab your shit out the air and push it on the break and go make an assist on the other end. I'm like, so I would have passed it up. But for him, like, you know what I'm saying? No, it's like I see certain things, man, and it's like wow. Like seriously, like I'm people that know me. When it comes to this basketball, like I'm gonna be honest. Like if somebody can't play, I'm gonna say it. If you suck, I'm gonna say it. If you good, I'm gonna say it. If you need to work on this, I'm gonna say it. But there's no doubt in my mind that when people get to see it,
he's ready.
They will feel the same way.
That's what's up, man.
My open.
Definitely.
Please do. You won't be like I tell everybody. You won't be disappointed.
All right. Yeah, definitely wish them the best of luck, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, K-Mart, man, we definitely appreciate you giving us some time, man, and to rap about hoops and everything. Look like retirement is treating you well, man. You're killing it in the media game. Been on every major network talking hoops. You got I forgot to mention Round Ball Rap with Mark Spears. Definitely respect Mark Spears and the Undefeated. So yeah, look like retirement's been treating you well, man.
Yeah, man, just trying to figure the next chapter out, man. Played for 15 years. Just trying to do my part for my family first and foremost, man, and stay relevant in the basketball world. And I've been told by plenty of people if I don't give back in some facet of the game, that I cheated the game. But just trying to transition in different things, business stuff first and foremost. But yeah, this media stuff, talking hoop I can do it aimlessly. So just I've been blessed to be able to talk with you guys and be with Mark and be on ESPN and be on Fox and these different things, man. Just blessed. I'm blessed beyond belief. Just trying to make the best of my time here.
Sure. We blessed to be with you right now, man.
Yeah, man. That's what's
Appreciate
up,
the
man.
love, gentlemen. Nah, man, it was a pleasure, man, being able to recap and go over the career and different things that happened, the things that I haven't probably thought about. No, but I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate what you guys are doing. Two black men doing it the right way. My hat goes off to you, gentlemen.
Appreciate you, man. Hope you join us again, K-Mart. Thanks again for the
Anytime,
time.
anytime, man, anytime.
Absolutely, man. Best of luck to your son. Health and happiness to you and your family, man. Thanks again, brother.
Love y'all. Stay safe out here, man.
All right, man. Kenyon Martin, ladies and gentlemen. Throw K-Mart in the chat.
Hit that
Salute
thumbs up
K-Mart.
button.
Hit that thumbs up button for your boys, Jay Ellis. Another quality production by the Post Game Live boys. Salute to K-Mart once again.
Come on, man.
Hit that thumbs up button for your boys.
Please do, please do.
Yes, sir. Let me get you back in here, Jay Ellis. So to everybody in the chat, we'll get the phones up. We got a couple more things we want to rap about. Let me set your screen up here, Jay Ellis.
Only K-Mart I acknowledge, CP. K-Mart I acknowledge, CP is Kenyon.
That's it,
I don't know any other.
That's it. We don't know
I go
no
to
others,
Walmart,
man. We don't know no others, man.
I go to Walmart. I don't respect that.
Oh man! All right, hang on. Let me get your screen up here. Ready? Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Ron Cleveland is in the building. JLS.
Man,
the man, the myth, the legend is in the building. Caught it live, man. Appreciate you, Ron. All right, JLS. Show's on you. What you think, man?
Classic. Another good interview, man.
Yeah, man. Stand-up guy, man.
Very stand-up guy.
Came on to stand-up guy, man.
Stand-up guy. Baffles me the free agency stories, man.
Yeah.
Stories standing out to me right now. He didn't even get a call.
Didn't even get a call, man.
After him and J Kidd and RJ.
Facts.
It was running amok.
It's crazy.
All-star Brink didn't even get a call.
Didn't even get a call.
$6 million. That was alarming. A lot of good teams got broken up because people didn't want to cough up the dough.
Well, I think that, and also I think that maybe they thought the Vince Carter deal would have been a lot better for them. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Remember, they went after Vinsanity that same year.
Yeah.
So maybe they thought that the Vince acquisition would have been a better balance for them, because the thing about the Nets were they didn't have the depth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They didn't have the depth to compete in the West. In the East, it was all right. They could match up with Detroit and the Pacers and Boston at the time, but with the West, you needed that firepower, man. They just didn't have it.
Yeah. They wanted. I guess they were really trying to get over that hump.
Yeah.
And when they got close, they was just like, all right, well, maybe we should try to like get some more bullets in the gun, and it backfired.
True story. I just threw your screen on here. Let me get your chat in here. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let me launch the phones. And let's hear from the people, JLs. We got to talk about the coaching as well. Coaching updates. 10 candidates. We are up to 10 candidates for the coaching job, Jay Ellis.
We got a whole nother team.
We got a whole nother team just of coaches coming in. So I definitely want to cap on that. But let me launch the phones real quick so we can get the people in here. If you're new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new so we can shout you guys out. A couple Nets fans in here too. Don't be shy. You could throw hashtag Nets in there. We know you in here. Don't worry about it.
What's that?
I couldn't stand that team, JLs.
I couldn't either, man.
I couldn't stand the Nets.
I didn't really get the chance to say it, but
I couldn't stand the Nets when they were good, man.
I couldn't stand it when him and J Kidd first got here. I'm not gonna lie, especially J Kidd, more so J Kidd than Kenyon.
Mm-hmm.
I felt a little bit weird. I did.
Well, because Steph was my guy, and they were running laps around the Knicks them times, bro. Running straight up laps
exactly.
around the Knicks, bro.
And like Kenyon said, it was personal. It wasn't just no ordinary, we playing a basketball game. Like, nah. They ain't like us, and we ain't like them.
Because it was the little brother syndrome, man. The Knicks still own the town. The Knicks still own the town, even when they win the finals. Like the pomp and circumstance, like the energy just wasn't there for the Nets, man.
No, it wasn't.
You know, even when they went to the finals, I think because people probably thought that, you know, they didn't really have a shot, especially against the Lakers. They definitely had no shot against the Lakers. So
Lakers ridiculous.
But this was always a Knicks town, man. You know what I mean?
Still is.
Absolutely. Before we get to the phones, let me shout out Jose Diaz, team hashtag new. Andrew Lopez, what's going on? Dr. X, what's going on? Team hashtag new.
Mm-hmm.
Salute to everybody. We're gonna get to Ron in 2 seconds. Hang tight.
So hold on 1 second.
Yeah,
Smo Vito Colito, shout out to you. I see you.
Colito, go ahead, babe. All right. We are going to go to Ron Cleveland. I think him and Dave are like catching up. I see Dave is in the green room. Him and Ron Cleveland having coffee.
Having a powwow.
Yeah, they're having a powwow. He hasn't called in a while, man. So he's got to catch up.
Yeah, like how the kids, you know?
Yeah. You know, the AI situation, I agree with him. You know, it was just too much. Even though he and Melo did lead the league in scoring that first year he got there, it was just Chauncey brought the better balance. You know, being able to he didn't need the rock to be effective, still able to score off ball. Obviously, Melo was going to dominate the ball in that regard, so you needed a more balance from your floor general, and that's what Chauncey brought. We knew that. Yeah,
man. I wish we had Chauncey on the Knicks a little bit earlier, because when Chauncey came over here, that little short stint that he was, whoa, like the effect he had on the team,
floor general,
was immediate.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, what in the? I'm so mad the injuries just took him out. Yeah, he caught like a weird thigh injury, and he was just never the same. Because him and Melo together for like a season, a whole year, with the right coach, I think could have done something. I think absolutely that was it.
Ron Cleveland joins us. J. Ellis. Ron, how you feeling, man? Welcome back.
Man.
It's been a while, J. Ellis. We needed to hear that.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
We needed to hear that.
J. Ellis. What's going on, fellas?
How you feeling, Ron? How you feeling, man?
Yeah,
good to hear from you, man.
Man, I'm feeling good, man. Just trying to stay out of people's way, man. You know, this COVID-19 don't want to go nowhere, so I'm trying to stay in the house and stay out of this way. You heard me?
True story, man.
Yeah, man. But I didn't get a chance to fully listen to that Kenyon Martin interview. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but what I wanted to touch on, man, is, you know, this coaching search and a few of the players I think need to go and who I think we should keep. First off, with that coaching search, man, I was on the Tim's bandwagon of getting Tibbs, but I'm kind of feeling like we need to go in a young direction, man. A hungry coach, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that's willing to go make a name for themselves, man. And the more and more I feel in my gut, it keeps screaming Becky Hammond to me, man.
Wow.
I'm feeling like whoever gets her is going to be happy, man. And I don't care about no gender. You know what I mean? The fact that she's a female, I don't care about none of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I care whether or not you can connect with players, you can reach them, you can get their attention. And from what I've seen with her being on that bench with Pop, you know, she done absorbed the game from him. And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't she win the summer league as a coach one year?
Yeah,
San Antonio.
They did, right?
Yeah, she did. Yep, she did.
Yeah, so you know, in my mind, man, you go with some young, hungry people, man, and so far as players on our team that got to go up. Kevin Knox is an enigma.
I knew that was coming first.
For me.
You knew that was coming first, Jails.
I saw it coming.
And I don't want to kill him. I don't want to kill him, man. You know, some players take longer. I know that to be the case. But there's something we know, the bright lights in New York City, it blinds a lot of people, man, and they can't handle it. You know, and so my thing is, if I was Leon Rose, being that he didn't get a chance to really be with the guy that long, I would hold Kevin Knox at least till the trade deadline to give him an opportunity to see if he's improved. You know what I mean? And if he don't improve by that trade deadline, then you ship him. You know, but I would not ship him this offseason. I wouldn't move him.
Okay.
Dennis Smith Jr., as far as I'm concerned about him, he can go right now. He can go right now.
I think he'll be
they
gone.
Can cut ties with him.
Yeah, man.
And Frank Ntilikina is another enigma for me because he done been here a while. I love a defensive-minded player. And I saw flashes, but to me, it just seemed like, think about this, man. Every coach that we've had with Frank, none of them has stayed the course with him, man. Like they just don't stick with him long.
They don't
for
stick,
whatever
period.
reason, they just don't stick around. Long.
Yeah, but they don't stick, period,
the
Ron. I think that's part of the problem, too, man. It's like you looking at Kev, you looking at Frank, they're looking at new president, new coach damn near every year.
Yeah.
How is that going to work?
That's my only thing.
There's no consistency. So both of those guys, I would say hold on to them guys till like mid-season, man. And if their game don't improve by mid-season, and truly let the guys play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 20, 25 minutes a game. Let them guys really play consistent minutes. And if they ain't improving by mid-season, then you ship them. But to ship them guys right now, from what I'm hearing about Kevin Knox being gone, I don't think that'll be a smart move by Leon Rose to get rid of him right now, unless we're going to bring in a stud. That's the only way.
Okay.
But with that, fellas, hey, good to be back, man. Hey, y'all going to be hearing more of me, man. The season about to start back up. You heard me? And I'm just ready for us to get rolling, man.
Hope so,
I'm
Ron.
just ready for us to get rolling.
Hope so, man. Good to hear back.
Yes,
good
sir.
to hear from you. Stay healthy. And be safe out there, man. Definitely good to hear from you, bro.
Absolutely. Is Kevin Knox gonna be gone though? I know I've heard that he's on the fence about Knox, but I don't think he's necessarily gone.
Listen, man. None of these kids have trade value, man. They don't. Except for RJ, except for Mitch. So in my opinion, the best thing the Knicks can do is find a coach that can continue to develop these kids. They have no trade value, J. Ellis. You know, Ron mentioned, the only way he's trading if you're going to get a stud. You're not getting a stud. Unless you're going to package up 3 more players.
Mm-hmm.
Knicks have nobody of value right now that any team really wants. Let's just keep it real.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the return is not really even worth it.
There's no point.
Yeah.
There's no point. On the Becky Hammond front, some people want Becky Hammond here. Some people want Becky Hammond here. I think my opinion is, and it's not a gender thing, I think I want somebody it's not their first rodeo. The Knicks is not a first rodeo job, bro.
I agree.
I don't think that's it. I would still like to stick it young. And so I would go Kenny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would go Tibbs. But I still think you need somebody that can really navigate this thing. This is difficult. This ain't Denver Nuggets here. You know what I'm saying?
It's not. All the you're under a microscope here, and I agree with you. My thing with Becky, like anybody under the Spurs tree, I'm intrigued with. But my only thing with Becky Hammond was just like you said, she's not had the NBA experience on the NBA floor. She had this. I almost feel like even G League experience to me is a little more valuable to summer league to me. Only because I feel like it's like a longer stretch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's, which is why I still kind of like the Mike Millers and the guys who've done more stuff in the G League than necessarily, but the summer league. But like you said, man, I want somebody who's already been in the NBA and can right the ship that way, because there's a lot of pressure to lead these guys in New York, man.
These guys do not last, man. They don't last. Fizz did a couple years. The Hornets did a couple years. These guys don't last. Like, we need to have patience. Let these guys cook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying she can't do the job. She probably can. I'm sure she's going to be a hell of a coach.
Let's be honest. Half these guys on the list, I'm saying the same thing about. As much potential as they have.
So let's talk about the list, because the list has expanded now to 10 candidates, JLs. We are at 10 candidates, and who we spoke about with Kenyon Martin is one Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd's name is popping up. Ian Begley, shout out to Ian Begley, because he was the first one that said that the Knicks would be interested in bringing Kid in. It was announced tonight that from Mark Stein in New York Times that the Lakers have granted the Knicks permission to talk to Jason Kidd. We do know that Jason Kidd was coaching with the Nets. As soon as he left the Knicks, started coaching with the Nets.
Yep.
44 and 38 record with the Nets. Ends up leaving. It was rumored that he left because there was a power struggle.
Yeah,
he wanted more power in the front office. Tried a strong arm.
He wanted to be coach to GM.
Wanted to be coaching GM right away. You know what I mean? Jason Kidd's moving fast, bro. Goes to Milwaukee. Gets credited for developing the freak.
Yeah.
Turning the freak into a point forward. Slowing him down a little bit. You know, slowing him down a little bit. Forward thinking. You know, in which the freak has been excelling in that role. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
You know, let's just be honest.
But then he hit a wall.
Yeah, and then they hit a wall. 2016-17 season, Bucks had a winning record, 42-40, but they were eliminated in the first round by the Raptors. Kid had a 23-22 record with the Bucks midway through the 2017 season before he was fired. Bucks GM John Hurst stated that the Bucks ownership wanted to move in another direction and thanked Kidd for his role in the letter to the fans. It's kind of quick trigger, though. What do you think? I
mean, the expectations were big at that point.
You think for the Bucks? You think so?
I feel like they ended that season with the hopes of building on last season, and it seemed like, if I remember correctly at the time, it seemed like they were underperforming for what the expectation was from last season. Like they expected to take at least a step forward, and they weren't really. They kind of went lateral and a little bit behind.
He was one game over 500 halfway through the season, Jay Ellis. I don't know. That's kind of fishy, man.
But then when you look at the next season, they explode.
Well, that's true. That's true. Budenholzer comes in and they take off. Interesting. Well, like K-Mart said, maybe J. Kidd has learned from his previous stints, humbled himself a little bit. Assistant coach with the Lakers. What say you?
What say I? My first thought was I'm scared of Jason Kidd because of the stats.
Yeah, me too.
I think he secretly still hates us.
Hey, he was Knicks tape, man. What do you mean, bro?
Yeah, like I feel like Jason Kidd is petty. Like I feel like he would get to the finals and then lose a game because he hates us.
I think Jason Kidd can coach. Of course he can coach. He's Jason Kidd, man. He's Jason Kidd, bro.
Yeah, it's one of those things where he's been well. He's a point guard. He's obviously a smart point guard. He's regarded as a guy who knows the game, but it's just a different animal managing an entire team, managing egos. That's like a whole nother skill set, and he might have jumped into the thing a little bit too fast. As good as he is, and maybe him being slowed down could help. Who knows?
Possible.
It remains to be seen.
Certainly possible. Another candidate on the list, Jay Ellis, surprising to me, is former Cavs championship head coach, currently with the Warriors, championship assistant coach, Mike Brown, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts when you saw Mike Brown's name across the list? I was quite underwhelmed.
My thoughts were, that was my first one.
Straight up, I was like, what? Mike Brown? And you know, that name had come up during the Fizdale hiring that time as well, Mike Brown.
That must have been a repressed memory because I don't remember his name coming up when he did that.
Mike Brown. I don't know if he had ever interviewed before they hired Fizdale, but Mike Brown's name did come up during the search. I remember 2 years ago.
I don't know. I'm definitely not confident in Mike Brown. I like J. Kidd, you know, kind of on the fence, maybe not. Mike Brown, no.
He's another from the pop tree. I thought we liked the guys from the pop tree, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I just did the whole LeBron thing. I feel like LeBron just overshadows everybody.
Yeah,
man.
It's hard to really evaluate a coach that's paired with LeBron, man. It's hard.
Yeah, because you just don't know who's really coaching.
Yeah. Although Spoelstra's been doing a hell of a job. I mean, let's be real. Spoelstra's done well.
Spoelstra is an enigma. Spoelstra's the real deal. Because when he left, he was still moving. I was like, okay, Spoelstra's an actual coach. All right.
Yeah.
But you see what had to happen for us to believe him.
It's true. True story, man.
LeBron had to leave. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, here's a coach.
Yeah. So Mike Brown, his name is on the list. So we'll see what happens. 10 coaches. Now, speaking of Spoelstra Light, J. Ellis, there's also San Antonio Spurs assistant coach, and his name is Will Hardy. Will Hardy, J. Ellis, 32 years old. Shout out to Mike Woodson of The Athletic, who threw these bullet points together. Let me make my screen bigger so the chat can see. Will Hardy, 32 years old, Spurs assistant coach. Worked under the Spurs staff as an assistant under Popovich for 7 seasons. Team videographer for Team USA in the FIBA World Cup. Spent his entire career in the Spurs organization started as a basketball operations intern in 2010. Coached the Spurs Summer League team in Utah from 2015 to 18 and Vegas in 2017 to 18. Comes from the Pop tree once again, like Budenholzer, Mike Brown, Brett Brown are the Sixers, Monty Williams, James Borrego with Charlotte right now.
Right. Yeah, anybody from the Pop, most people from the Pop tree except for Mike Brown.
Here's Pop's quotes on him. He said he's a talented young mind, good learner, became someone who understood what was important as far as winning and losing, development on an individual basis for a player. Spent a lot of times over the last few years with Chad Forcier, Chip Englund, watching the drills, techniques, and how we approach those young kids and what we call a vitamin, what they do every day over and over again. So it seems like player development is really his strengths. Kawhi Leonard's quotes on him: Will's a great guy, loves what he does. He dissects my games, gives me my weaknesses to work on, also my strengths. So that was Kawhi Leonard on him. Nice. Will Hardy, 32 years old.
Okay.
See,
young strapping guy. All right. Young buck.
I mean, people are looking at him as a potential savant or a prodigy, but again, I wouldn't. This is not a Brad Stevens type of situation. I don't see it that way.
Yeah, it's hard. It's rough, man.
You know what I mean?
It looks nice on paper. It's rough.
I don't see it that way. Now you also have Dallas defensive coordinator by the name of Jamal Mosley. 6 seasons under Rick Carlisle. Carlisle speaks highly of him. Great young coach, great communicator, says Carlisle. Thinks he'll be a head coach somewhere sooner or later. He says whether for the Knicks or somewhere else, JL. So I didn't know if that was a backhanded compliment from Carlisle today. Or
he's talking his stuff. He's like, listen, man,
yeah.
I'm hot.
Yeah. Remember, he was tight about the Fizdale situation. So
I don't know if I want that around.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, for him to recommend Mosley, then a little halfway recommendation of Mosley to the Knicks.
I see what you're saying.
In the papers.
I see what you're. Okay, I get it. It was like a little bit of shade. You fired your man. So,
Facts.
Got it.
Mosley also spent 4 seasons with the Cavs as an assistant coach and was a Nuggets player development coach from 2006 to 2010.
All right.
So those were the 3 latest. And as Begley said, 10 candidates in all, JL, so far. We have Jason Kidd. We have Jamal Mosley, Will Hardy, Mike Brown. You have Chicago Bulls assistant Chris Fleming. You have Sixers assistant Ime Udoka, who's right now is rumored to be the favorite for the Chicago job. You have Orlando assistant Pat Delaney. Mike Woodson, Knicks tape.
Yeah.
Highly recommended by Kenyon Martin and also Ray Fell. You have Tibbs. You have Atkinson. And you have Miller.
Anybody select Miller?
I mean, people have been, when you take a feeling, you take the pulse across the nation, people still want Miller for the job. I don't think he's going to get it. He's not going to get it. I can almost say he's not going to get it.
interesting enough, Fritz says, I don't know what to make of this. How his theory, usually when they expand the search, it's because the current coach probably killed their interview. That's an interesting theory. What made you say that? I want to know. I never heard
meaning that. Miller killed his interview?
That's what he's saying.
I think the other way. I think it's Tibbs. My theory is I think they're looking to be blown away by somebody who's going to be better than Tibbs. But also, I think these interviews can serve, again, as a relationship builder. Just like draft workouts can be that way. You never know who you might come across down the road. Maybe some of these guys may get considered as a staff position.
Absolutely.
So I don't think it hurts to expand the search and talk to different people.
It doesn't. And thanks for reminding me in the chat, Miller came from the Spurs coaching tree too.
Mike Miller came from the Spurs coaching tree as well. So I don't think he'll get it. Mm-hmm. I don't think he'll get it. I think he may be kept on. I'll still go with Tibbs as the favorite based on what we're hearing, with Atkinson a close second.
That's probably the most likely scenario.
I think that's where I'm going with it.
I wish it was flipped maybe, but we'll see how this goes.
Yeah. We'll see where we go with it.
I really want to go development first, but
we have to. I absolutely have to.
And when I say development, I mean development coaches.
Yeah.
But we'll see how this goes.
We'll see how it goes, man. So Begley had said that he doesn't expect the decision to be made until maybe the end of this month. So we'll see. Maybe we're getting closer. The Jackson Hive is certainly disappointed, Jay Ellis, because out of all these names, there is no Mark Jackson.
Every time I post on Instagram, CP, I always have one person go, it's not Mark Jackson, I don't care.
Yeah, forget all these guys.
Forget all these guys. Who, what? Listen, I don't see Mark Jackson. Every time they see another coach's name, they just get pissed.
Listen, man.
Even more and more pissed.
Don't fire the messengers, JLs. We told them.
We didn't
think Mark was going to get it.
Yeah.
We didn't think Mark was going to get considered. I thought that when they interviewed him 2 years ago, I thought that was just a PR move. I truly believe that. I don't think he was ever seriously being considered for this job, even when they brought him in last time.
Exactly. And they're not even faking it.
No, they're not faking it.
They faking giving the job to Mike Brown.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Sorry, Jackson Hive, man. Sorry, man. And salute to Mark, man. He lost his mom recently, man. So
man.
Yeah, definitely salute to Mark for sure.
Wow. Condolences to you, man.
Definitely. Let's salute some super chat sales. Alan Berman sends us a super chat. He says, I still want to see this man put hands on Tim Thomas, referring to K-Mart. He still wants to see K-Mart and Tim Thomas go at it.
That was funny.
Yeah. K-Mart was over that, man. He was over that Fugazi mess.
His face did not. He was dead serious.
Yeah, he's like, nah.
Like, I still got beef.
Yeah.
If I see this kid in LA, it's over.
It's over, man. Salute to Ignacio Lobregat. Ignacio, what's going on? I saw a guy on Twitter. He says, CP and J. Ellis, iconic like Pat's D-pads, doing real work for the fans, holding it down with great interviews. Ignacio, definitely appreciate it. And appreciate everybody in the chat for supporting us. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. All right, let's close it out, J. Ellis. Let's go to Bo from NYC. He wants to weigh in on the coaching search. Bo, how you feeling, man? Yo,
Bo.
Hello.
Bo, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, brother?
Good, man.
All right, speak on it. What's up? You talking about the coaches?
Yeah, I thought you wanted to talk about the coaches. What do you think?
I think honestly, man, if we're gonna go with a older group like CP3, maybe a Melo and a Kevin Love, then Tibbs would be great.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But if they're gonna keep it with a young movement, then I'll probably go with Kenny Atkinson or at least give Becky Hammond a try.
Okay. So both throwing his hat in the Becky. 2 callers for the Becky Hammond
I threw up when he
selection, J. Ellis.
I threw up in my mouth when he said Kevin Love.
Yeah, I mean, people haven't. I'm good on that. I'm all the way good on that. I'm all the way out on that. Forget that.
I'm definitely
good on
out.
that. But I mean, you heard it as a potential, rumor. I think that was like a Bleacher Report rumor. But appreciate the call, Bo. Yeah, I'm good on Kevin Love. I'm all the way out on that. But hey, Becky, we haven't heard her name in the runnings. Stackhouse, Adele Chapman is asking about Stackhouse. Haven't heard about Stackhouse either.
Neither.
So I'll see what happens, man.
Who knows? News is coming out. News is flying. You never know.
Never know.
It's gonna happen tomorrow.
Never know, man. So yeah, man. But once again, everybody, definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in. Another solid production, JL. A salute to K-Mart for joining us. Appreciate all the insights, man. Appreciate it. JL, so I'm gonna switch it over to you. Go ahead and close out, bro.
All right, salute. Yo, new episode Nick Time Show is coming soon. Sorry, we had technical difficulties. We recorded a whole episode, audio went bad, had to re-record it. So stay tuned for the next episode dropping within a day or two on youtube.com/Nick Time Show. Should be updating the SoundCloud and iTunes soon as well, so definitely check that out. Also, please check out the blog, the nickoftimeshow.com. Got my people's Ken and Fritz, man. Fritz was in the chat providing his Julius Randle trade idea. So definitely check out nickoftimeshow.com to read what Fritz has to say. Good work, Fritz. Looking forward to seeing more articles from you. That's all. Back to you, CP.
Yes, sir. Great work, JLs. And once again, salute to everybody who tuned in for the K-Mart interview. In a couple more weeks, JLs. Not even a couple more weeks. Within the next couple of days, we're going to be releasing the next one.
Oh, snap.
And it's a blockbuster, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
It's a blockbuster.
It's a block, yeah.
Trust.
Smoker.
Oh yeah. The next one coming is gonna be it's gonna be the one, man. But yeah, salute to everybody in the chat once again. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, this show's available in audio podcast format: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iTunes. Google Play, Stitcher, Amazon Alexa. You can always catch an audio podcast format if you don't make it to see the shows live. Remember to share these videos. Very important to share these videos. Continue to support us. We appreciate the super chats. But you can always support us for free by hitting that thumbs up button. Leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel and share these videos. Always appreciated. JLs, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Salute to salute to some people in the chat. All the mods, definitely appreciate it. Knicks Fan TV, Jared, appreciate it. Flo, Dave, TM, all the mods, the Shells, Roman here, appreciate it. Shell says, is it Eddie Curry? Nah, it's not Eddie Curry.
How did you know?
It's not Eddie Curry, man.
No.
Pete Cruz, appreciate it, Pete Cruz. Yeah, man, everybody. No Dice in here, appreciate it. Dimitri, appreciate it. Bruce Miller, appreciate it. JL, so you want to shout out?
My guy Fritz Alessandro holding down as usual. Craig Williams, big fan. KOT, shout out to you. By Wells, Cameron Goldberg, John Talento, always chat hopping. Shout out to you, my guy.
Nice.
And everybody else. Rich Jim. I haven't seen Rich in a minute. Hashtag new Smoothito Colito. Shout out to you.
Okay. Salute Colito, man. Haven't heard from Carlito in a while, Jay.
Yeah, not to be confused with Carlito.
Yeah,
I don't
not
know
to be confused with Carlito, man. But yeah, man. Anyway, we'll catch up with you guys over the weekend.